The monsoon clouds hung low over the little village of Haripur, their heavy bellies pregnant with rain. The air was thick with the scent of wet earth and the soft rustle of leaves. In a narrow lane, beneath the shade of an old neem tree, Raj sat quietly on a wooden stool, mending the hem of an old kurta. His fingers moved with quiet skill, the needle glinting faintly in the dim light. "Hello, I am Amit and welcome to Heartwarming Fables, where every story touches your soul and leaves you with a smile." Raj was not just any young man in Haripur. He carried himself with a quiet dignity, a kind of stillness that made people trust him without question. He was known for his honesty, his kindness, and his unshakable belief in doing the right thing, even when it was hard. His mother had raised him that way, teaching him that a man was measured not by wealth or appearance, but by the steadiness of his heart. When he was 16, his life had changed. At the request of a girl he barely knew but could never forget, he had been sent to the city for further studies. That girl, Ananya, had been radiant even then, with a mischievous smile and eyes that seemed to carry 1,000 unspoken stories. She had spoken with such conviction about his potential that his mother had agreed without hesitation. And so Raj had left, carrying nothing but a small bag and a heart full of questions. Years passed. The city taught him many things, some harsh, some beautiful. But when his studies ended, he returned to Haripur, his hands skilled not only in knowledge, but also in the craft of tailoring, a trade he had learned to support himself. One late afternoon, Raj went to the city's largest fabric store. The bustling shop was a kaleidoscope of colors, silks shimmering like morning dew, cottons soft as clouds, linens in earthy shades that spoke of distant lands. As he browsed, his eyes caught an unusual sight. A young woman, partially hidden behind a stack of folded fabric, watching him with quiet curiosity. There was something about her presence, not just her beauty, which was undeniable, but the way she carried herself, as if she had stepped out of a half-forgotten dream. Her eyes met his, and in that brief moment, the world around them seemed to still. But before he could speak, he noticed a small commotion. The shopkeeper was discreetly tucking away a bolt of fabric, muttering something under his breath. Raj recognized the tone, a petty deception in pricing. He could have walked away, but his mother's voice echoed in his mind. "Do the right thing, even if no one is watching." Without a word, he placed a small silver coin on the counter, enough for the fair price, and took the fabric. He did not argue, did not accuse. He simply chose honesty over conflict. As he left, he felt the woman's gaze on him, though he didn't dare turn back. The next day, the sound of soft music drifted down the street from the small food stall that sold both pizza and pani puri, an odd but popular combination in the area. Raj had just stepped out of his shop when he saw her again, the same woman from the fabric store. She stood there, her hair loosely tied, a faint smile on her lips, holding a plate of pani puri, as if it were the most natural thing in the world. When she saw him, she approached. "Your hand?" she said gently, glancing at his fingers. "Did you hurt yourself?" Raj blinked, taken aback. "No," he said with a soft chuckle. "Just a little tired from work. Nothing to worry about, sister." She frowned, her eyes narrowing slightly. "Sister? That's hardly fair when we don't even know each other's names." He smiled, the corners of his lips curving upward. "I'm Raj. Ananya," she replied. The name struck him like a bell. He remembered the girl who had once spoken for him, the reason he had gone to the city all those years ago. But this was no child. This was a woman whose presence felt like sunlight after a long winter. They talked. At first it was polite, cautious, but as minutes turned to hours, the space between them softened. She told him she had always hoped to see him again, though she had not expected their paths to cross this way. She spoke of her own life of dreams. chased and abandoned, of moments of quiet triumph and nights of longing. Raj listened, not just with his ears, but with his whole being. Her words painted pictures, and he found himself wanting to step into every scene she described. Over the weeks that followed, they met often, sometimes deliberately, sometimes by chance. They walked along the narrow village lanes, past fields heavy with grain, past the old banyan tree where children played. They sat on the river bank, feet dangling in the cool water, watching the world drift by. There was laughter, light, unrestrained. There were silences too, but they were not empty. They were filled with the quiet understanding of two people who didn't need to fill every moment with words. One evening, as the sun dipped low and the air grew golden, Raj realized something. He was not just fond of Ananya, he was drawn to her in a way he had never been drawn to anyone. The thought of losing her, of watching her walk away, made his chest tighten. He wanted to tell her, but fear held him back. Fear that she might not feel the same. Fear that speaking the truth might shatter what they already had. But life, as it often does, had its own plans. One quiet afternoon, Ananya asked him to walk with her. They wandered into the meadow beyond the village, where wildflowers swayed in the breeze. She stopped suddenly and turned to him, her eyes searching his. "Raj," she said softly, "do you ever feel like you're standing on the edge of something important?" He hesitated, then nodded. "All the time." She took a step closer. "I've known you since we were children. You were always the boy who would stand up for what was right. The boy who would share his last piece of bread with someone hungry. The boy who looked at the world as if it was worth loving, even when it wasn't kind." Her voice trembled slightly. "I've been waiting for someone like that all my life." Something inside him broke open. The words he had been holding back spilled out. "Ananya, I am afraid of losing you. I am afraid that if I don't say this now, I'll regret it forever. I love you. I've loved you longer than I realized, and I don't want to imagine my life without you in it." For a moment, neither of them spoke. The wind rustled the grass, carrying with it the scent of jasmine. Then Ananya smiled, not the quick, mischievous smile he remembered from childhood, but something softer, deeper. "I love you too," she whispered. From that day forward, their love grew, steady and sure. They told their families, who received the news with joy. There were wedding preparations, filled with the colors and sounds of celebration. And when the day finally came, they stood before each other, eyes bright with promise, hearts full. They built a life together, not perfect, but theirs. They worked side by side, shared their dreams, faced their troubles hand in hand. In the quiet moments, when the world seemed far away, they would simply sit together, content in the knowledge that they had found in each other the home they had always been seeking. And so, in the little village of Haripur, under the wide and endless sky, Raj and Ananya's love became a story people would tell for years to come, a reminder that sometimes the threads of destiny are woven long before we even know they exist, waiting for the day when two hearts finally find their way back to each other.